Well, welcome to CEF 2025. It has been a really nice event so far. I got here Monday. It is now Friday. But Monday was a wash because it was a travel day. Showed up at around 4:30 in the afternoon after a 13.5-hour drive and made camp. It's been a lot of fun and been doing a lot of flying and a lot of helping other people with Dubro. So if you stopped by, thank you for coming by and so that I could help you. It's my pleasure to try to help other people in this hobby, and I'm grateful to Dubro for them entrusting me to represent them. So what are we talking about today? Well, I'm sure you can tell by the title of the video that we are talking about the GB. Another one? So this is the Dynam GBY. So I sold my GBZ at Lebanon, and I previously sold my GBR to another club member, and so I was then left without a GB. And as a matter of fact, yesterday was my birthday. Now, having a birthday at CEF is kind of just like any other birthday. It's a party, and everybody else makes it more of a party, and that's not a bad thing. But I've been flying this GB because it was a birthday present to me. My wife didn't know what to get me. You get to a certain age that birthday presents are sort of like more work than they're worth. So yeah, picked this up from my friend Anthony. He had a couple of these in stock at FPV Builds RC. He's a great guy, has lots of these Dynam airplanes that are super cheap. But man, this thing flies so sweet. There are a couple of hiccups about it, so let me list those out for you. Here in the shade, let's talk a little bit about this here GB. So it's not really anything particularly super special. I mean, it's your basic foamie, but the lines are really quite good. Very easy assembly. I did have to press down pretty firmly on the tail empennage to get it to start into the screw that comes up from the bottom. I thought maybe it was misaligned, but it wasn't. I just had to press down a little bit for the screw to start biting. So all good there. The propeller, I like the propeller. It's not scale, but there's an FMS plane, the CJ6, Chinese CJ6, and I've got one of those props coming that will look much more scale and accurate. It's a little bit smaller in diameter, but I think it will fly this plane just fine. Let's see, the landing gear. I am really impressed with the landing gear. You can see that clearly I've been flying this model, and the grass was wet this morning, which happens. The landing gear goes on pretty well. I chose to use these Dubro screws rather than the stock ones because they recess in rather than the stock ones that have a pan head with like a flat washer. So just something that I did, but the stock hardware will work. I just wanted something a little bit better for landing gear, clean it up a little bit. The other thing that I should also note is the wheels. So the wheels, they're on, but there is a little nut in there. On one side, it was loose, and so I had to kind of pry open the foam and then drop a little drop of CA. Now, I was not about to try to pull the nut off, put a little blue Loctite paste on it, and then stick it back on. Super awkward, and the pant doesn't come apart easily or cleanly at the very least. So didn't want to bother with that, but definitely worth inspecting. You also want to make sure that you've got the wheels clear of the foam. It's a pretty tight fit, and I've had to massage the foam a little bit because it was dragging on one side or the other, and the airplane wanted to nose over. If you're nosing over this airplane, that would be my first suggestion, is to take a look at your wheels possibly rubbing on the wheel pants. absolutely, you should be spinning freely. Absolutely should be spinning freely. So the last thing that I kind of can't show you, but I can tell you about, is the speed controller. So it comes with a Skylord speed controller, 50 amp, which is great. It's a 4-cell setup designed for 4-cell, which is great. 4-cell is perfect on this. I get a solid 5-minute flight time on my 2200 4-cell. Thank you, Anthony, for that China Hobbyline 4-cell 2200. Performs great. The speed controller was kind of obnoxious, where every single time I plugged in, I had to recalibrate the throttle stick. So since I'm at an event, I just got another ESC, so I didn't have to bother with that. It's not that I wouldn't trust it, it's just annoying. So your mileage may vary. But other than that, like taking side loads, the landing gear takes side loads just fine. I found another pilot, this guy right here. I liked his details more for this particular airplane over the stock pilot. So yeah, I swapped him out. I'm gonna carve out some of this foam when I get home, but since I'm at Maxfield and this is beautiful, like Gulf green Bermuda grass, I don't want to get foam all over Max property or risk getting it there. But yeah, pretty cool pilot that I am very pleased with. So with all of this said, the airplane flies at half throttle, plain and simple. These airplanes, you don't have to fly them fast. I was flying around this morning on dead calm, and it was great. No issues at all. So I'm going to get this in the air and show you guys how well it flies, because we've got a little bit of a breeze, and this GB is not afeared of a little bit of a breeze. So yes, it was a bit of a crosswind, but yeah, I'm like right at half throttle, feeding in a little counter rudder. But that's it. I am already very comfortable with this plane, and I've only had a half dozen flights or so on it, but she's great. Handles this bit of wind just fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this plane and the way that it flies. The center of gravity that's recommended is spot on. It's very stable. And I've even flown this airplane already with my 4000 4-cell just for an extended flight time. I did get around 7 minutes on that flight, and it came down to a storage charge. And my 5-minute flying time on this will take me down to a storage charge on this 2200 pack. So keep in mind that I am, again, flying this around half throttle. I have yet to go full throttle on this flight because it doesn't need it. It flies so well, and it doesn't need to be super fast. The GBY wasn't super fast. It was a race plane, but compared to the other models, yeah. I'm going to land a little bit early. I'll give you a nice full throttle pass here. She scoots a little bit more, but not a whole lot more than what she already had. But it's good enough. We're going to go down, come around on final. We're going to just ease back the throttle. Fly her all the way to the ground. So that's the GB Model Y. It's a great, fun airplane. It's going to be sticking around my hangar for a while. So make sure you're heading on over to dubro.com for the things that you need, and use that code Josh10 at checkout, save yourself 10%. And I will continue to enjoy all of these flying works of art.